Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're going to go ahead and do the full moon reading for March 2025. And as we go about it, you can't go unknown. And when you can't go unknown in this one, and as the worm full moon, you have to go to adjust this, to adjust, do it, to adjust, put it on, to adjust, be about it, to be known, to be thrown off guard, to be anything because it's right. It's in the right. It's in the RITE. So when something is in the RITE, it must be known. And it must be known because it's going to be gone. It's so fleeting and not in a derogatory way that you just couldn't even do. It's not a Mercury retrograde. It has Neptune. It has Saturn. I can't even get it out. It has Saturn. It has uh, like there's like I don't know. I hear satire. I hear a little bit of everything, but you just can't like do it. And I say, it's in the right. It's in the right. You have to do whatever you're gonna do in the next couple of days with this full moon because it's going to work out perfectly whatever you were planning, even if you've been like putting it off, you have to do it. So basically when you see this, we're going to look at the names. Astrologically, Sagittarius and Aquarius are rising, so the natal charts are going to be off, but it really is going to put into a juxtapose and into it like when you look at it as like law enforcement, it's jurisdiction lines opposing. And when you go to that, you go, oh my gosh, like I actually can go out a little bit farther now and actually see what's going on. So when I see this, I go, Nadis, it means go about it with a knife cut. Like something comes through and this moon cuts through it. It's such good luck to whoever bad luck has come through that this Hegel, this good luck will actually cause like good havoc. And when I see it, I go, oh my gosh, you can't really. When I see this, I see Fehu. I see like it will ash truth north, true like a true north. When I'm seeing a true north, though, it's odd to say that on a good luck. But what kind of like everything would be like that? You got to use your instinct and your intuition. So basically, when you see this and you see your us, the power of it is so soft and gentle that you say it flowed well. Everything flowed well. So ashing a true north when you've had bad luck means that when you are driving down a dirt road, you say everything feels comfortable now because whatever debris it was kicking up on this road is fine. So a true north would be in like in an opposing force. It's really hard to explain, but you're in this like flip switch that you can't understand. It's faded. It's good. Just trust it. All of a sudden, you're like, you're wrong. It makes no sense. And then it says, yes, it does, because it brings in wealth. It brings in wealth. You just got to flow with it. So when you actually are collecting in, like you're charging your crystals, you have your moon water, and then you're doing your burn ritual or whenever you're cutting ties, you're like making bonds correctly. I would say I would make your bonds this month and then tie them by the new moon. And then when you see it, it like the trolling, which is like the tie up through the next like 3 moon cycles, is going to do well. And when it does well, it'll sit well with others. And when it sits well by July 1st, it's rolling, it's in process. Does it make sense if you're doing business? So when you see it, you see Wun Ho, it's going to give you a lot of joy. It's really slow preparation. If you're going to do manifestation, I would say just be very low key about it. Don't do hard like 8 count. I would do 4 count and wait until almost the end of the year to do a 12 count. You really only need two moons to do a good manifestation this year. So when I see it and I see Rido, it is a collection of riding out a storm. So when I see it and I see Lagu, it will literally flow through with cup energy because of wind currents right now due to the weather and the weather patterns. But when I see Taiwan, you'll see that warrior at opposing juxtapose saying, no, you can't do this. Just trust it. Just like walk past or drive past and say, no, nope, I'm supposed to be doing this right now. So when I see Ingwa, as far as living goes, this full moon will bring in luck as far as better living conditions for a 3-6, but no 9 weeks. And then when I see Canoe, I see it uh, like a light in a fire, like a light, like a lantern. And when I see Pertho, I see something good that's hidden within. And when I see it and I see ice, it's not immigration and customs. It means it makes it like a true solidarity. All right, let's go to the White Sage Tarot and look for it. What do we need to know? As far as elemental, Mercury is rising, but it's not high enough to do a retrograde or any disrupt. When I see copper and I see iron and I see actually like manganese or anything like that, your burns would actually go farther. When I see everything sit and stand still, don't do harsh with Neptune because it will make a dull dud. But the next month it would be too solid, which would cause more sinus infections. When I see the Hermit, I actually say, like, do the ritual alone because you can't be interrupted. You got to do a complete skill set. It's odd, but you'll see it. All of a sudden, like if you try to do a moon ceremony with a couple people, it's not going to do good. So when I see the Page of Cups, it will bring in good emotions and good offerings, especially with energy balances and monetary balances. It's going to be counterintuitive per se. But when I see this, it says no celebration. Don't do any ceremony by yourself. Take rest and go slow. When I see this and I say the Knight of Wands, it really is meant to be a put out to a snuff out of bad luck and bad contracts and bad luck towards legal, military, or anything like that. When I see the Queen of Pentacles, I hear it will sit well and secure all forms of like contracts and money and retirement if you do it right. If you do it right. So when I say when you do it in the right, let me boil it down. Because it with Neptune and Saturn, it wants to go high, but in the right, and you're doing it solo, just hydration to a light meal and whatever you feel led to that's not heavy, divination or anything of like gathering and gaining in for manifestation and putting it out there. That's where you're actually going to connect better. When I see the Sun in reverse, there's a lot of unhappiness with a lot of people right now. And when I see the Chariot, it wants to do a halt stop because there's a lot of things that put bad taste in people's mouths over the last like 5 to 7 years about rituals, about everything. So when I see 8 of Pentacles in reverse, it will be a kind of a takeaway, but it will go farther when you actually slow yourself independently doing however you practice any of these rituals. So when I say it, you can do it Aboriginal. It's a little harder. I don't know why I'm hearing that, but I hear more of Wicca. Wicca will stand out more. Very white witch. So when I see 10 of Pentacles and it says, do dirt and do your candles, that's fine if you feel led to that, for a little bit harsher if you want to do a lockup. When you see Three of Swords, it's going to hurt if you do that lockup because there's something about money. So, do a beg to differ and definitely see what you need to do. When I see the Three of Pentacles, I say there is no apprenticeship. There's no apprenticeship because it was DONE. You have to say, what does that mean? It literally means don't teach anyone right now this year anything. If you have someone, like if you're in a group of people who do this practice or anything like that, when you see the Seven of Swords, it will make sense on a takeaway, because all of a sudden you say, the Page of Swords goes, you can't even believe how cutaway on the soil it was. There's something about the pH of soil right now. Don't do it. Don't do it. Five of Swords, it will not be the best, but really the Queen of Wands goes, you can't even believe it. You can't even believe it. It will sit well with honor. So the Seven of Wands goes, you can't understand what's going on. It really was a difficulty that came in, that everyone wants to hurry because they see this domino effect go on. But don't be sated, sure, say SATED. That literally means don't do a set in and don't do a sit in. Just be calm and just let planetary measure come through and do exactly what you need. Because those who do planting and gardening and agriculture and have small businesses, they want to do better. They want to have more like positive legal contracts. They want to bring in and have it more full light, what anyone can do. So when you have Sagittarius and you have Aquarius, let water signs actually come through and flow through that moon. So with that being said, that's all I have to say. Just be mindful of whatever goes on and take in mind in a grain of salt on what I give out as far as what I see. So with that being said, any questions or concerns, leave a comment or an email and a like and a share, and we will talk to you soon. Have a good night.